Alright, listen, man, like I said, pardon me about the last video. I was gonna continue it, but my phone died. I was outside explaining to you. But like I was saying, right? I used to call my wives at time during the time I was Emperor Chief. I used to call my wives, and my wives would literally manifest in the physical reality. But at a time, you had people that honored different social economic habitation because I'm the real Zeus. So I used to teach individuals different social economic habitations, and I'm the real Buddha. But at the time, I was teaching regardment and habitation when it came to like natural habitation, regard, golden body, iron body, one's value when it comes to habitation of one's conscience, of one's horizon, one's honor, value of one's sacredcy. I had reasons of different laws, of different traditions of love, and of different social habitations of regard and of higher quality when it comes to one's intellect and reason of social economic equality for a future. So I was put in preparation for individuals so they can know the reason uh, of their dignity when it came to the economic education of one's etiquette and one's career or work ethics of one's equality of value. So, at a time I used to call my wives, but there was these chicks that, there was men that used to make certain oaths for, after learning certain education, used to make oaths for value. They used to make oaths for, you know, through other people's habitation that was educated for a certain point of reality that you know that wanted to know the depth of the intricacies of situations. They used to make oaths of physical pleasure that was wrong at the time of habitation. That used to cause different type of how can I say this physical physical regard to be more hands-on because of of fault or misconduct at the time. And before I was known as Emperor Qing, I was also the Dalai Lama that individuals didn't know about, and how real I used to handle individuals a certain type of way. And then there was these four empresses named A IHI and Live at a time that failed my wife's equality of value of their etiquette and education that caused confusion and caused a form of sad harmonical realities of one's happy intensity um of one's intellect at a time when it came to habitation that caused the wrong type of how can I say, the wrong type of abusive conduct or misguiding conduct that almost failed the reasons and caused confusion in other people's reality at a time. And then men used to make oaths to them for that didn't know that was manipulated at the time, and then end up in certain type of serious situations because of choice that they made, and because other individuals was being vindictive when it came to the equality because of individuals' natural journey of the wrong choice and causing false habitation, and then the corrective measures to show you the detrimentalness of the reason why individuals shouldn't indulge in certain type of attributes of reality, that will cause you know cause conflict in conduct with one's higher acknowledgement when it came to one's dignity. So individuals conditioning individuals' reality at a time cause a more upset of their habitation for their own self a certain type of way, and then used to cause, if these chicks were of value, they never passed the reasons of my 10 astrological wives, my real majesty emperors, my literal wives. They never passed their reasons of their conduct, of the higher quality of intellect, of the reason of their etiquette when it came to the social economic education, for the reasons of value and economic equality, for the enrichment of the future. So they failed my wives in dealing with dealing with my 10 astrological empresses that was so enlightened with different reasons of the reality of each of them when it came to equality. So these empresses that failed had their own habitation and their own planet at the time also, but nobody really settled on their planet. They only had children, but the children misconducted from individuals because of the emotional habitation of certain things that happen in the paradigm that my wives tried to keep a form of sacred that was being conniving at the time because of you know, mis misconduct, being slothful or slackful with one another in a certain type of way when it came to natural regardment. But they were already highly educated where they should have never been doing things like that. But because of children, you know, one one being one looking at others like as an endangerment when it came to their own, it caused a form of a malicious intent and conniving, uh, uh, and, and how can I say this? And, and how can I say this? Cynical reality a certain type of way. So, them failing my 10 astrological jewel empresses of higher quality, of the reasons of one's values, of enriching intellect, of one's physical habitation, it caused the devaluing of a jewel, of the reason of the etiquette at the time. So, even in the level of physics, it was already causing deterioration when it came to the quality of social economics that was already dealing with laws of attraction when it came to high intellect, and then causing the harmonical frequency of one's natural enlightenment, even of individuals that were being educated to things that mattered to them, even of their physical reality, dealing with the how can I say this, a cheerful or wrong type of vibration, or wrong type of mental education when it came to their harmony that had to be corrected during certain times of their conduct. So this caused individuals on the level of physics to even be more alert for certain things that would happen in the future, reflecting on a point of higher quality of enrichment when it came to a sequencing of one's habitation of the physical reality. It would cause a natural depression instantly for certain individuals that would endanger the natural equality of the upliftment, of the enrichment of the wealth of individuals' conduct if they were making the wrong type of oath, or that was being reconditioned secretly for the false conduct that was causing misbehavior in the physical reality that ended up to the detrimentalness for their death. So, and because of the greed and the gluttony of other men, and also the cynicalness and the vindictiveness and the conniving reality of these empresses that already failed the quality of the other empresses of the jewels, endangered the social economics when it came to marketing, or economic currency when it came to natural. So, because I have to go charge the phone again. Because of individuals' misconduct and causing the wrong type of harmonical sequence of one's natural conduct, of one's intellect, it caused the collapse of structures and of certain social habitations when it came to economics equality of natural structure at the time, were individuals who made oaths to these empresses that would endanger their habitation because of jealous emotions, connivingness, and mischievous or or cynical or vindictive realities of greed, gluttony, and slothfulness when it came to the quality, the higher quality of existence that also caused individuals to end up in detrimental situations that end up even causing thievery, identity theft, and also misbehavior that almost collapsed natural equality social structures when it came to um, um, currency and value, and also the economic structure of the physical how can the attribute of one's natural habitation to one's physical condition, even at a time because of these empresses that failed and that wanted to see anything of the 10 astrological Drew empresses to not to not survive at a time of the future that would have been the reason of the higher quality and the love of natural intellect to all horizons of reality, even at points that would have led to even higher intellectual habitations of um, self-control of one's natural conduct of one's habitation. So because of these type of situations, it was serious because things like that was causing even this time it would have caused car accidents, identity theft, insurance frauds, tornadoes, you know, accident, or or devastation. How got demolition? It would have been demoralizing, even down to demolition in the physical reality, because the greed of the reality and causing the collapsing of individuals' habitation when it came to their physical temple or the points of their sacredcy of their higher conscience or the intellect if they made the wrong earth oath, even the things that even happened at the Middle East at a time, because individuals that didn't know the difference between the empresses of the pyramid and empresses of the astrological tree, and because of empresses that resided at a time in the paradigm of light inside of the pyramid when it came to social structure or instruction or obstruction when it came to habitation, and individuals that wanted to be more than their dignity or their empress or more than the head of their family when it came to the astrological tree, or wanted to be more than the reason of their consciousness that caused the wrong sexual conduct, caused the collapsing of their habitation and also their temple and their social economic structure because of these four empresses, Eight Lay and Live, Rags, Edge, Blade, and Shield's mothers. And they were element empresses, and they caused the natural dark matter that almost led up to the dark ages and the death of the calendar of era, or of the collapsing of the calendar of era and certain other social economic calendars that even dealt with currency, like the lightning calendar, the majestic calendar, almost murdered individuals from the triple crown calendar, tried to collapse individuals of the love calendar, a lot of things because listen, let me show you how to charge the phone again. Let me show you how real this is. It also caused the collapse of the main calendar at a time, a calendar called pre-prime trance, Shaolin Temple, and it ended certain sacred temples of gathering of individuals that was in loving harmony at a time, of real high sacredcy when it came to natural habitation and regardless of one's reasons of dignity and honor. And these were all certain houses of real honor. And it was these four Empress chicks that caused it. Like the last things I said before the camera cut off and I went charged again. It was these four other Jewel Empresses besides the 10 astrological Jewel Empresses. And their sons were Rags, Edgeblade, and Shield. And it was H.A. and Live. The Rags used to move with a set of 12 individuals. Ed used to move with a set of 10. Um, um, Blade used to move with a set of 10 and also Shield. But sometimes Rags and Shield used to switch. But one time, Shield tried to murder the 10 that he was with, and Rags was on his way murdering the 12 that he was with. And then I had stopped it, and this was around the times when I was Joseph. And then Rags used to be wanted to be known as Zeus. that wanted to. He almost ended the Triple Crown Empress calendar, also the Majestic. He almost tried to get to Majestic calendar, and he was the reason of the Galactical War, or one of the reasons of the Galactical War, of the reason of the War of the Fist of the East, because of identity theft, and then on top of it causing frustration, and then he wanted to educate individuals of dark matter, and to cause the Three Musketeers, and the reason of the story of the Man in the Iron Mask, that he wanted to be known as a brother, and then also cause identity theft in Shaolin Temple. He was going to cause identity theft because I was Abbot White, but also the Abbot and the real Buddha of Shaolin Temple, and then he wanted to infiltrate and be known as a Shaolin Temple master, and also be known as Zeus. Me, and then on top of it, want to be an Iron Mask, and it caused me to be in the Iron Mask and put away for individuals of the Iron Body, the Golden Circle, when they realized who I was at the time. So, Rags was a real deviant individual that was also skilled in martial art and elements. Rags like the Blade Shield was also skilled in martial art elements, and they always tried to get over on the 10 astrological drill empresses, and they would always try to mess up the reason of their habitation, so he could manifest before them, because he wanted to silence them, and to silence the Charlin house, the Ming house. He wanted to go after the Rollin house, because that was how he was going to cause identity theft in the future, and then he was trying to get rid of individuals with sacredcy. He even tried to rape elves and cause the rape and almost the fall of the Triple Crown Empress at certain points in the times of Gomorrah. So, on times of Gideon. So, individual, even brought down the Mushu calendar of era, and then on top of it, he wanted to educate niggas to devalue the value calendar, the reason of existence, and also wanted to rape and murder the love calendar because of what happened. Well, that was Shield also, but because of what happened when his mother, Shield's mother lived, that was also known as Love, that tried to kill one of the 10 astrological jewels of love and another Empress of love, and then wanted to, she tried to wound another Empress so she would be barren, so she wouldn't be able to manifest or have any love in the future, because the failures of their etiquette when it came to the quality of economics, and also ended up causing the detrimental death of pre-prime trends, another militant calendar that was causing the collapse of their habitation in the paradigm dealing with frequencies and elements through market and social economic marketing of false reality for the wrong type of honor, of the reason that would go against dignity. We'll speak about it another time. Loved one, I'm just letting you know how real the situation is. The individuals who have been educated is Raffle and GR. I'm the head of all situations, but also the real emperor and the dad of all the social economics and even the galaxies, even at a time. So, if individuals wasn't educated and didn't know what was going on, I'm sorry, because, I'm sorry to see men waste their time just trying to do something more than life and end up in more fucked up situations because of them not knowing their history when it came to dignity and knowing how to tell difference. I used to have to mark my kids when they were in Shaolin Temple for individuals to know who my children were and the difference, because individuals trying to kill again. Sorry, I gotta keep going charging my phone. It caused almost the collapse of the main calendar, the in calendar. I used to have to mark my kids when I was Zeus, so they wouldn't get murdered and killed and end up in the wrong hands when it came to individuals' habitation, when it came to because you had individuals that had houses that loved making tasks for themselves to complete, just to see the type of honor of their own habitation, of their own conduct, of their own reconditioning, and there was nothing new under the sun of things that they did at the time that was making things even more detrimental in the reality, and it used to make me sorrowful. And then when I used to send my kids to go get schooled, you would have these other individuals' false habitations from their sexual conduct that used to try to murder my kids because they were envious and jealous that they got reconditioned a certain type of way, and the purity of my kids, of the ones that was conditioned precisely, was gonna get the precise education that they wanted, and it was also had emotions because the spirits and of the four empresses used to be wanting to murder the kids, and when I was loose, I had to mark my kids because you had this individual named Rags that just wanted Rags Edge Blade and Shield that used to want to act like me, and they used to want to just murder my kids at certain different Shaolin temple and other temples, even the Ming house and the Ing house. Just wanted to murder the children of the habitation. I used to have to mark them certain ways and put certain things and let it be known and so things and have to send them. And then there was times I had to go watch my kids just to make it to their education for the habitation because I was over there or other places working in other social economic systems. And then you had forces and energies that was going to go against them concerning 10 astrological jewel empresses and then other habitations of certain individuals of the Mushu calendar, empresses that was put away in black and brown jewels, element empresses of black elements, brown elements, jewel elements, individuals of dark matter that was maliciously done wrong, and then on top of it, making dark matter demonic forms of reality get into the intensity of the depth of certain things and falling into vindictiveness, greed, and gluttony. A lot of things happened because of these four jewel empresses that wanted to murder the 10 jewel empresses. And their names was Aid, Shayla, and Liz. Sheba, and then one of them was known as Sheba in the pyramids of the times of Egypt. You gotta know a lot of history to know what's going on. If you don't, be careful of the higher metaphysics and mythology you mess with. And I'm the real rider, real Osiris, the real Orion. A man said Shinobi, Hidetashi himself, Hideta himself, and also this family, Sir Lancelot, John the Baptist, Shadizlo, Moses, Joseph, Isaac, Abraham, Adam's dad, the men of honor, my word, the men of word, Orion, Rome himself, a man, glory, you know, how can I say, Temple himself, also Buddha, the Dalai Lama, you know, I'm just gonna tell you this. In Indo, and then I don't even have to tell you, I'm known as Taiwan Titan himself. And I'm older than Cronus and all his brothers because those are my children. And I'm just gonna be real, my wife Hell, my wife Hera, I'm not even gonna speak about certain things. And then individuals, I have daughters that just wanted their mother's magic, that just didn't care about their mother, and then regard, that's just thinking about their regard, like, what did their mother have to regard? If I have wives of regard of the high sky eyes and the high sky mountain eyes,